Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to People's Bank Park here in York, Pennsylvania for this afternoon's NCAA Division III Mid-Atlantic Regional. This is the first game of the championship round, Coach. We have Wheaton, the only undefeated team left in the field, hosting Shenandoah. Wheaton will play as the home team. Shenandoah will play as the visitors. Wheaton wearing their all white with blue hats, and Shenandoah wearing white pants and red shirts. Taking the mound for Wheaton will be number 45, Dan Sutherland, a junior out of Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Coach, what do you know about Sutherland?
Sutherland, the right-handed pitcher for Wheaton, comes into the game with a 3-2 win-loss record, a 3.55 ERA. This will be his 9th game started, as well as his 9th appearance. In 45 2/3 innings on the season, Sutherland has given up 46 hits, struck out 28 hitters, only 15 walks, and opponents are hitting .269 off of the right-hander. Of course, Shenandoah coming off of a victory earlier today, beating Johns Hopkins, come from behind, and winning by a score of 4-2 to put them into the championship round. Shenandoah, the Hornets coming out of the losers bracket, will have to beat Wheaton twice to move on to the College World Series.
That's right, Coach. Shenandoah led 1-0 against Hopkins. A 2-run home run for the Blue Jays appeared to give Johns Hopkins the momentum. But 4 straight hits in the 8th inning by Shenandoah keeps the Hornets' hopes alive here and advances them on to face Wheaton.
Yeah, and of course these two teams have played earlier in this regional. Wheaton actually the only team that's beaten Shenandoah. They sent Shenandoah into the losers bracket in Game 8. That was our late game Friday night. So a rematch here. The Hornets are hoping to return the favor and continue playing on to tomorrow.
First pitch from Sutherland, taken for a ball. Ball 2 from Sutherland.
Wheaton's done a great job this regional of playing fundamentally sound baseball. Offensively, defensively, running the bases.
Sutherland, Coach, with a lot of hesitation in his windup. I don't know if that's the best way to put it.
There's a couple times throughout the windup for Sutherland where he seems to pause a little bit. It might take the hitters of Shenandoah once through the lineup to get comfortable with the timing.
And he'll lose Baker. Baker aboard with the leadoff walk. Abel Orocho now steps in, the right fielder for Shenandoah.
Yeah, Orocho's had a very impressive regional. He is 7 for 16, 3 RBIs, 6 walks.
He hits the first pitch. It's going to chase the left fielder back. And just shy of the warning track, Sharkey pulls that one in. First out of the inning.
Big first out for the Lions. Orocho coming in as right now the Hornets' best hitter. Hits the ball hard, but to the left fielder.
Number 25, Nick Good, steps in with one away. Swung on and hit to third. 5, 4, 3. The double play. Boyd fields that one and passes it along to the second baseman, Ruwako. And they turn 2 to get out of the jam. 3 up and 3 down for the Hornets in the first. We'll head to the bottom half after this.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
And we're back now for the bottom half of the first inning here at the NCAA Mid-Atlantic Baseball Regional. On the mound for Shenandoah today is C.J. Morton, number 39. Coach, what do you know about Morton?
C.J. Morton, his 9th appearance on the mound. This will be his first start of the season. Only pitched 6 innings on the year as he throws strike one. Has a 16.50 ERA. 6 hits in those 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 10 walks.
And the first batter he faces is number 1, the shortstop, Josh LaJoy.
I know Morton was ticketed to be the team's closer at the start of the year, actually compete for one of those closer roles, has had command issues on the season. Again, 10 walks in 6 innings. So let's see if he's able to pound the strike zone. Big right-handed pitcher. Throws the ball hard. Haven't seen anything but heaters this far. We'll see if Wheaton can get to him.
That pitch looped out to right field. It's going to land fair. Orocho down in the corner, but LaJoy turns for second. He's in there with a double. Leadoff man aboard for Wheaton as LaJoy doubles down the line.
Looks like that was an off-speed pitch. Morton was ahead in the count. Left and off-speed pitch up, out over the plate. LaJoy able to get the bat through the zone, hit the ball the other way. A double, just fair. And the Lions are in business here in the bottom of the first.
That brings up number 11, Matt Cook. Cook playing center field. He's going to square to bunt against Morton. He gets it down to the third base side, and that's Forgas. Across for the out, successful sacrifice for Wheaton.
Great job by Matt Cook, and we've seen that out of the 2-hole hitter for the Lions all regional long. Speedy, left-handed hitter that can bunt, doing the job, getting the bunt down. Perfect spot, making Fergus, the third baseman for Shenandoah, have to come get the ball.
And that brings up number 9, Jared Sharkey with a runner on third. Swings at the first pitch he sees. High fly ball to center field. Good. Sprinting in. Not anywhere near deep enough to score the runner. And Sharkey's retired on one pitch.
Big out from Morton. Getting the 3-hitter for the Lions to pop up. Sharkey trying to get the ball to the outfield to score that run on a sac fly. Unable to do so. And now we have Goodwin Boyd coming to the plate. Goodwin Boyd's been one of the more impressive hitters in this regional. Not sure if we'll have enough time to talk about all his successes thus far, but he's second in the regional with a .583 batting average. On base, .667, so that's 2/3 of the regional he's been on base. Leads the regional with 4 doubles, 7 hits. puts him third in this regional. So the left-handed hitting Boyd, force to be reckoned with in this Lions lineup. Not a guy you'd rather have at the plate right now than him.
And that pitch hits Boyd. There'll be runners on the corners now.
Yeah,
Two away.
Not the worst thing in the world for Shenandoah and Morton. Now they have up Raposo, who's also had a very good regional, but the right-handed hitting Raposo doesn't pose the same threat that Goodwin Boyd does. Still a good hitter in his own right.
Raposo, a freshman, the designated hitter today for the Lions.
And if you're Shenandoah, you need to be concerned here with runner at third base and 2 outs for a ball to kick away. We've seen Shenandoah, that happened to Shenandoah a couple times throughout this regional, run scoring on wild pitches.
And Raposo takes that pitch high. It'll go to 2-0. Raposo, a 279 hitter, hits one high in the air, fading into the bleachers there.
C.J. Morton again, the right-handed pitcher for Shenandoah. 9th appearance, 16.5 ERA coming into today. Hasn't pitched a ton. Has struggled with command on the season.
Up high to Raposo.
The big advantage for Wheaton here, not just the fact that they have to be beaten twice, is they've played 2 fewer games than Shenandoah has. So that's 18 more innings that the Hornets have had to have pitchers, use starters, use relievers. So Wheaton should be a little bit fresher in this game. And, of course, Shenandoah just looking to get to tomorrow where, hypothetically, both teams should be able to bring back their starting pitchers from Thursday.
Now we have number 16, Tyler Walsh, after the walk to Raposo. Coach touched on the command issues Morton had. They're already rearing their ugly head here in the first inning.
Really big opportunity for the Lions. If they're able to push a run or two across, you might see the Hornets bullpen start to stir. As we just commented on, Shenandoah having to use a lot of pitching to get to this point. Really, the sooner you can get to their bullpen, the better. Not being sure who's available, who's not available for this game. So big opportunity early on for the Lions. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
The pitch from Morton swung on and missed. Morton gets him swinging to get out of the bases-loaded jam in the first inning. Wheaton threatens but comes up empty as we head to the top of the second. Jake Lowe, number 54, to lead things off here against Sutherland in the top half of the second inning. Mid-Atlantic Regional, this is the first game of the championship round. Wheaton can come away with the title if they win this game. If Shenandoah wins, it forces another game, and that pitch is hit way back in left field. That's going to be off the arch nemesis, and Lowe motors into second, sliding ahead first with a double. Ball over the head of Sharkey out there in left field.
Sharkey played it well off the wall, makes a strong throw in, unable to get Lowe, and this is the part of the order that the Hornets used to come back and rally against Hopkins. Lowe started that bottom of the 8th inning off with a single. Cameron followed with a hit. Newsman also singled, an RBI single. And then the pinch hitter, Stauffer, a 2-run double to give the Hornets the lead. And they were able to hold on to get to this point. So Lowe starting to rally again here in the next game.
And that brings up Cameron, the catcher, number 11. Dan Cameron, the senior. Takes strike one. Cameron on the season a .350 hitter. 2 home runs, 36 RBIs. That total is second only to Lowe among Hornets players in the lineup today. And he squares around the bunt. He gets it out in front. Sutherland picks it up over to first. Another sacrifice bunt, second one we've seen in as many innings. That one, Cameron gets a good bunt down and gets Lowe to third.
Yeah, big change of momentum. The Lions had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Morton able to get the big strikeout. Then Lowe comes back with a leadoff double. Cameron able to get the bunt down, do a job, and the Hornets are trying to push the first run of the game across.
And Luke Newsman will try to get Shenandoah onto the scoreboard as he faces Sutherland. Goes for the first pitch, a chopper into the hole. The second baseman over to first, but it will score the run. Ruaco ranging far to his left to get to that one. No chance to get Lowe, who comes home on the RBI ground out. 1-0 Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets strike first. RBI grounded by Newsman. That leadoff double, huge hit for the Hornets. Sacrifice bunt gets him to third. RBI ground out, textbook inning for the Hornets.
That brings up Donnie Forgas. Forgas did not start the last game. Came in late as a defensive replacement.
And this is the 11th inning of this regional that these two teams have played against one another. And that is the first run that Shenandoah has scored off of the Wheaton pitching staff. Wheaton sent Shenandoah into the losers bracket 2 days ago with their first loss, and that was the first time that Shenandoah has been shut out all season long.
Pitch from Sutherland. And the count is 1-2. Low and away, evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Sutherland bounces up, will go full, 3-2.
As we mentioned earlier, Shenandoah was sent to the losers bracket from Wheaton in the second round. Shenandoah was able to beat 7th seed SUNY Maritime, lost to Wheaton in game number 2. Beat Leslie in game 3.
That one hit hard down the line in left field. It goes foul. That would have been a lot of trouble there off the bat of Forgas, but it must have just landed foul. We can't quite see all the way down into that corner, but it couldn't have been foul by more than a foot, Coach.
Yeah, I think that ball was up in the air a little bit too long. It was able to hook foul. Thought for about 80% of that was going to be fair ball. Had a chance to get out of here. Then at the last second, thought I was going to hit the fence, and goes foul. To finish my point, Shenandoah in game number 12 then beat Alvernia yesterday, and then beating Hopkins this morning.
And that's a base hit to right field for number 2, Forgas. A 2-out base hit Already 1 run in for the Hornets here in the second inning. They'll see if they can mount a 2-out rally.
We expected the Shenandoah offense to be one of the best offenses in this regional. They started out a little bit slow. Numbers coming into the regional were outstanding up and down the lineup, and starting to get some confidence here in the championship round.
Number 31, Dylan Stauffer. Stauffer getting a start in left field in this one after that big pinch hit double against Johns Hopkins earlier today.
Yeah, the game-winning double. 2 runners on base. Double in the right center gap. Both runs were able to score, and the Hornets didn't look back.
Neil Dutton, who played a lot of left field. That's where Stauffer is today for the Hornets in this tournament. But first, Stauffer hits a single to right field. One hops out to Goodwin Boyd, and we'll have runners on first and second. But Dutton ended up coming on as a pitcher and finished out the game for Shenandoah against Johns Hopkins. And now Stauffer getting the start in left field here in this one.
Yeah, Dutton struggled a little bit offensively throughout the first couple games of this regional. I believe earlier today was the first time he didn't start. We thought it was a little bit unusual to not see his name in the lineup, and then came in out of the bullpen for the Hornets, and I believe he got the win, pitching the last 1+ innings for Shenandoah.
Robert Marcel, the shortstop, steps in. Sophomore.
Marcel coming into the game hitting .333 on the season, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. He's played a great defense at shortstop. He's gotten some sacrifice bunts down when asked. He's a very solid player.
And, Coach, you are correct. Neil Dutton did get the win for the Hornets in the game where they eliminated the Blue Jays, went 2 1/3 perfect innings. Pitch from Sutherland to Marcel will make it 3-0. Sutherland falling behind the 9-hitter.
And Sutherland has given up more hits and innings pitched on the year, so he is a guy that will give up contact. Only 28 strikeouts in 45 innings.
And that one just misses. A 4-pitch walk to Marcel. And that'll load the bases here with 2 outs in the second. And turn over the batting order to leadoff hitter Tristan Baker. The Hornets with a chance to break this one open. 1 run already in. And now the bases loaded with 2 outs for the top of the order.
Yeah, Wheaton wasn't able to score in the bottom of the first with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Let's see if Shenandoah can get a big 2-out hit. We've mentioned all regional how important it's been. The teams that have won are teams that are getting big 2-out hits with runners in scoring position.
Baker swings at the first pitch and rips one foul. Forgus on third, Stauffer on second, Marcel the runner on first. The pitch from Sutherland, swung on and hit high in the air to left field, chases Sharkey back, but just short of the warning track, puts that one away. Baker was thinking grand slam maybe a little bit there, got one but didn't quite get all of it, and Sharkey puts it away. Sutherland gets out of the bases loaded jam, but 1 run comes across for Shenandoah. It's 1-0 Hornets as we head to the bottom of the second. Leading it off for Wheaton here in the bottom half of the second inning. Number 19, Joey Santagate. He's doing the catching for the Lions. A .243 hitter on the year. 8 doubles, 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Morton misses high.
Ooh.
A hit batter. Morton throws one that gets Santagate in the shoulder. And the leadoff man will be on for the second straight inning for the Lions.
That'll bring up the third baseman, Willie Boyd. Wouldn't be surprised to see Boyd sacrifice here with the second baseman, Rocco, on deck. Rocco, the 9-hitter for the Lions, but is hitting .289 on the year. Has 4 home runs, 2 triples, 9 doubles, 19 RBIs. So the Lions are blessed with some pop in the bottom of their order.
Boyd entered the tournament with 3 sacrifices on the year.
The big question mark for the right-hander Morton for Shenandoah was going to be whether or not he was able to throw enough strikes. He's got good stuff, throws the ball hard, big right-handed pitcher. But he's got to be able to throw strikes, can't give the free passes to a talented Wheaton offense. Vargas in thinking Boyd might square around. The throw over to first base, trying to get Boyd to show. He does not.
Morton the pitch. Boyd does square around the bunt down to third, and Vargas over to first. Another sacrifice bunt. Santagate over to second. Boyd retired.
Yeah, thought the third baseman for Shenandoah had a chance to get the lead runner at second. That bunt was bunted hard right at the third baseman. Wasn't a straight sacrifice. Boyd moved up in the box, showed late, almost bunting for a base hit. Ball bunted hard at the third baseman, takes a sure out at first.
Number 12, Chris Ruaco, the second baseman, will come to the plate, and coach, as you mentioned, he's got a lot of pop for a 9-hole hitter. .289 batting average, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in. So they had Boyd bunt to get the runner in scoring position for the dangerous Ruaco.
And Ruaco's sitting 2-0 in the count ahead, looking for a fastball, I'm sure. Morton going to want to go after the 9-hole hitter.
Swings and fouls one back.
And he wishes he could have that one back. Rocco just missed it, put a good swing on it. Morton's getting into trouble. He's leaving some fastballs up. If he doesn't get those down in the zone, he's going to get hit around a little bit here.
2-1 from Morton, swung on and popped up. Baker calling for it, drifting around the second base area, and puts it away. 2 down, runner on second, still for the Lions. Top of the order, Josh LaJoy steps in. He doubled to lead off the bottom of the first. But Wheaton was unable to push him across despite loading the bases during their first trip to the plate.
Yeah, if Goodwin Boyd, the 4-hitter, isn't up for the Lions, next guy you'd want up is the leadoff hitter, LaJoy.
LaJoy fouls that one away. He's a .337 hitter with 15 doubles, a triple and a homer this year. Pitch from Morton, fouled away.
Shenandoah outfield creeping in a little bit. Going to try to throw out Santagate on a base hit.
That pitch goes wide, and it's 2-2.
Stauffer's pretty shallow and left. Typically, we've seen a lot of teams play deep out there, close to that high wall in left field.
Swung on hard, grounder. Morton jumps out of the way. It goes through the middle. They're sending the runner. And the relay throw. He's out. Santagate tried to score from second on that single, and he's gunned down at the plate. Wheaton threatens again, but does not score. And it's still 1-0 as we head to the top of the third inning. Abel Arocho steps in to lead things off for Shenandoah here in the top half of the third inning. First pitch from Sutherland, strike one.
What an exciting way to end the second inning. Wheaton had a runner at second base, single to the outfield, thrown out at the plate. Good with the strong relay throw to the first baseman, Newsman, who cuts it off and relays it to the catcher, Cameron. It was bang, bang at the plate. We had a chance to look at the replay while we were away. Looks like the umpire did make the right call. So a huge, huge end to the second inning. That's 2 straight innings that the Hornets were able to avoid runs. The Lions weren't able to push across a run with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first, and then get a runner thrown out of the plate to end the second.
And Arocho did what Arocho does. He hits a line drive to right field for a single, something we've become quite familiar with over the last couple of days.
Yeah, here we go again. Arocho, another hit, and Good, who had a great throw to end this inning. Wouldn't be surprised if he shows bunt here, base hit bunt. He's done that multiple times. Ability to control the bat for the Hornets.
And he does square around.
Got a chance to get the runner. Wow. So
Arocho
Good,
just back.
Good bunts through the ball, misses. Arocho expecting that ball to be bunted, got a little bit too far off first, able to scamper back in time.
Good, squares around again, fouls that one off.
Yeah, that looked like a ball. If Good could have that back, I'm sure he'd like to take that pitch, off-speed pitch, inside.
He's been a strong bunter so far in the tournament, but in this particular trip to the plate, he's missed and fouled one away.
Yeah, I'd expect them to take off the bunt here, let their 3-hitter swing away.
335 hitter does just that, fouls it off. Still 0-2. Sutherland ahead in the count. Throw over to first. Orocho back, no problem.
Rocho is 7 for 9 on the year, stolen bases. Shenandoah doesn't run a whole lot.
Pitch from Sutherland. Taken on the inside corner for strike 3. Sutherland punches out good for the first out of the inning. Brings up number 54, Jake Lowe, the designated hitter. He doubled to lead off the second inning.
That's 2 straight hits for Lowe, and you got to think he's starting to heat up a little bit.
Pitch from Sutherland. Swings through a high fastball.
Lowe, 57 RBIs on the season. He has some gaudy numbers, 10 home runs, 4 triples, 12 doubles. He can run for a big guy. Hitting .359 on the season in 49 games, 184 at-bats, 66 hits. So really impressive numbers. He's only struck out 20 times. You know, for a 4-hitter that has those kind of numbers, you'd expect some more strikeouts, but just a complete hitter. Hits the ball hard, good athlete, strong guy.
Breaking ball finds its way into the strike zone. 0-2 now on Lowe. 1 away. Runner on first.
The outfield playing extremely deep. All 3 guys are a couple steps from the warning track.
Line drive off the bat of Lowe, and Goodwin Boyd runs to probably normal positioning out in right field and puts that one away for the second out.
That ball hit well, right on the nose, right at the right fielder, Goodwin Boyd.
Brings up Dan Cameron, the catcher.
Good at bat for Lowe. Unfortunate that he hit the ball right at the right fielder.
2 away. Orocho led off the inning with a single. He still stands on first as Sutherland works to Cameron. He'll throw over, check the runner.
If you're just joining us, Wheaton looking to advance to the College World Series. They are the team from the winner's bracket, so a loss in Game 1 of this championship round will send us to a winner-take-all tomorrow.
Cameron hits one on the ground to the shortstop, LaJoy. Shuffles it to the second baseman, Ruaco. Fielder's choice will end the inning. Shenandoah still up 1-0. Wheaton looking to catch up in the bottom of the third back after this.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Matt Cook, the center fielder, will lead things off for Wheaton in the bottom half of the third inning. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. First pitch from Morton. That'll miss for ball 1.
And Wheaton, the 3-seeded Wheaton, has threatened in both of their home halves of the first 2 innings. In the first inning, had the bases loaded, 2 outs, were unable to come through with the hit. Last inning, they got a big 2-out hit with a runner at second base, and Santagate was thrown out at home. A strong throw and relay from the Hornet defense. Bang, bang play at the plate. Ended that threat.
Morton deals and swung on and missed by Cook. Fouled back. Just out of our reach up here in the press box.
And if you're just joining us, C.J. Morton, the starter for Shenandoah, is in his 9th appearance, first start of the year. Only 6 innings pitched coming into this game. Did walk 10 batters in those 6 innings.
Ground ball out to shortstop. Scooped up by Marcel, but his throw is not in time. I don't think the problem was the throw or the scoop by Newsman. I think Cook just beat it out, Coach.
That was a routine ground ball to shortstop. Wasn't hit all that hard. Marcel did have to come get it, but the speedy Cook able to beat that out. Off the bat, we all thought that was an easy 6-3 ground out. Cook showing off some athleticism, and that'll bring up the left fielder Sharkey, the 3-hole hitter for the Lions.
Sharkey flew out to center field for the second out in the first, and Cook takes off for second. The throw from Cameron hits his starting pitcher square in the middle of the back. Morton couldn't get out of the way.
I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. The speedy Cook takes off on the first pitch. The catcher, Cameron, comes up throwing. Morton wears it in the back. Don't think the Hornets had any chance at the speedy Cook. Cook got an excellent jump, slides into second base, and Coach Anderson and the training staff out to check on their right-handed pitcher.
Coaching staff seems satisfied.
Morton, the right-handed pitcher, was expected to have a larger role on the staff coming into the year. He was one of the pitchers being considered for the closer job. You can see why. Does have a mid-80s fastball.
That one comes in at 87. But it misses. It's 2-0.
And Sharkey, one of the players that has hit a home run over that tall left field fence in this regional.
Put one over it in the win over Johns Hopkins. That was in yesterday's game. And Sharkey will be aboard with a walk. First and second now, as the first 2 runners of the inning reach base.
This will be really interesting here. Goodwin Boyd's been one of the better hitters in this regional, the best hitter for the Lions as the Shenandoah bullpen starts to stir. You know, first and second, nobody out, down 1, typically a sacrifice bunt situation. We'll be interested to see if they bunt with their number 4 hitter.
Goodwin Boyd in this regional, 7 out of 12, a .583 average, 4 doubles, and a home run to his credit.
I think this is the right call, Jeff, not bunting Goodwin Boyd. Not only is he your best hitter, but we've mentioned several times that Morton does have command issues. You hate to give up outs to pitchers that are struggling to throw strikes.
And Goodwin Boyd swings and misses on that one. It's 1-1 to the right fielder. Wheaton's white uniform's really some throwback style. Got the high socks with the white stripes. Goodwin fouls that one away.
Yeah, not a great pitch to go after if you're Goodwin Boyd. That ball down in the zone, not going to do much with that pitch. If you do hit it fair, more than likely not a ground ball, possibly a double play. Could have been ball 2.
fouled back over our heads. Wind blowing right to left today. Goodwin Boyd takes inside for a ball. The 2-2 from Morton. It hits Goodwin Boyd. Goodwin Boyd was also hit his first time up. So that's the second time he's been hit by a pitch today, and this time it loads the bases.
Coach Anderson wasting no time going to his bullpen. So Morton's day will be done. Morton is responsible for all three of the runners on base.
Morton, as of now, has gone 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout. Gave up a double, but he's hit 3 batters already, Coach.
Yeah,
and I think that's where Coach Anderson decided between the walks and the hit by pitch, just can't stick with them anymore.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're getting hit, if you're getting hit around a little bit, that's one thing. But to give 5 free passes in 2+ innings between the walks and the hit batters, that just can't happen at this point in the season. So,
and the new pitcher is Neil Dutton, number 27. Dutton started out the tournament as the regular left fielder. He's now pitched in 2 games, both today. Picked up the win in today's first game with 2 1/3 perfect innings of relief. Coach Anderson hoping for more of the same here in this game. Probably looking to get at least 2 1/3 out of him this time around, if not more.
Yeah, and Dutton, the submarine pitcher, don't think he's necessarily a long reliever, although I'm sure Coach Anderson will go with him as long as possible. But you're looking to use one of your key relievers in this spot. This is a huge point in this game. Wheaton has the bases loaded with nobody out, the 5-hitter up. If you're Shenandoah, you got to try to limit the damage. You can't expect to get out of this without giving up any runs. If that happens, that's fantastic. But if you can get a sacrifice fly and then a ground ball double play, you get out of the inning only giving up 1 run, you'll take that.
Raposo's first pitch taken for a strike.
This isn't necessarily a spot where you go to your prototypical a long reliever to eat up innings. This could be the difference in this ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Dutton delivers. Ground ball by Raposo. 6-4-3. Double play.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. Great job by Dutton inducing that ground ball. The Shenandoah will gladly trade a run for 2 outs. So Dutton does his job. I'm sure the Lions are disappointed with that outcome. They're able to push the tying run across. Silver runner at 3rd with 2 outs, but they were looking for more there.
And Walsh, number 16, steps in. He struck out swinging in the first. Coach Dutton was very efficient against Hopkins, needing just 11 pitches to get 7 outs.
And the submarine righty from the Hornets, that ball is cutting, dropping, diving. He's filling up the strike zone, but has a lot of movement on that pitch.
Ripped by Walsh, and a great play by Forgas. Jumps and reaches as high as he can. Picks off a line drive. Wheaton continues to threaten. They finally break through with 1 run. And it's tied 1 apiece as we head to the top of the 4th. Shenandoah and Wheaton. And here we are in the top of the fourth inning. The championship game of the Mid-Atlantic Regional here at Peoples Bank Park. Leading things off here in the fourth is Newsman. Newsman fouls the first pitch from Sutherland away.
Fantastic job by Neil Dutton coming in out of the bullpen for Shenandoah with the bases loaded, nobody out. Facing the 5-hitter Raposo, getting him to ground into a 6-4-3 double play as Newsman grounds the ball to first baseman, who is able to retire Newsman. Gets the ground ball, double play, and then gets a line drive hit right at the third baseman, Forgus, and gets out of a bases-loaded no-out jam, surrendering only one run. So, fantastic job by Dutton and the Shenandoah defense.
Donnie Forgus singled in the second inning. Steps back in against Sutherland. Ahead in the count 1-0. Sutherland delivers. And it's a strike, 1-1. Forgus swings on that one. Short center field diving try. Can't come up with it. Cook laid out for that one, but short hops it. Another single for Forgus. He's 2 for 2.
The speedy Cook able to make that play close off the bat. Looked like that was easily going to fall in, but the extremely athletic Cook able to make it a close play just out of reach. And Forgus, who's started the tournament as Shenandoah's starting third baseman, hasn't started 2 out of the last 3 games, getting the start in Game 1 of the championship round and coming through with a couple of nice plays defensively and 2 for 2 at the plate.
Stoffer yanks one foul all over that pitch from Sutherland, but way out in front.
Stoffer was looking to go to the home run patio there. You can tell from that swing, sitting on a pitch, looking to drive it. Gets out in front slightly. Pulls that ball foul. Stoffer, we don't know ton about him. Haven't seen him start a game yet this regional. Did come up with a big 2-run pinch hit last game.
Swing and a miss there by Stoffer.
He's been extremely impressive offensively when we have seen him play. The swing looks really good. Looks like a powerful left-handed hitter.
253 hitter is the junior. 7 doubles, 2 home runs, and 75 at bats. Sutherland delivers, misses for a ball. Stoffer, a product of Hagerstown, Maryland.
You know, this will only be his 17th start of the year in 31 games, so a lot of pinch hit opportunities for Stoffer.
Sutherland misses away and low. 2-2.
If you're just joining us, this is Game 1 of our championship round. If Wheaton is able to fend off the visiting Shenandoah, they will move on to the College World Series. Shenandoah looking to take this to a, if necessary, game tomorrow.
Stoffer fouls that one away. Swung on and chopped foul. Still 2-2.
Sutherland trying to stay away from the lefty Stoffer. I think that's a good move. Stoffer's shown an ability to drive the ball in the right center gap. Staying away from the pull-happy left-handed hitter might get him to roll over on the ground to second or swing and miss entirely.
Hit high in the air to left field. Moving over towards the line is Sharkey, short of the warning track. He'll put it away. That's 2 down. Forgus still the runner at first as Marcel steps in. Marcel walked his first time up. And a throw over from Sutherland. Ford gets back without an issue. Sutherland from the stretch. Fouled away.
Sutherland's been very impressive so far. He has given up 5 hits in 3 2/3, but he's shown an ability to use both sides of the plate. Looks like a tough pitcher to face for right-handed hitters as his front foot kind of comes around the right-handed hitter. Looks almost like the ball starts at the hitter's front hip. For an example, right there, that off-speed pitch looks like from Marcel that it might hit him for the first half of the ball to the plate and then moves over, catches the inside corner for a strike. Great pitch.
The 0-2. Chopped on the infield. Over to shortstop. And that's a 6-3 put out. Nice play by LaJoy to retire the side. Runner left on base for Shenandoah. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1.
Something I discovered myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
We're back here for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Championship game of the Mid-Atlantic Regional, Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania. Santagate will lead off for Wheaton. First pitch he takes from Dutton is inside for a ball.
Santagate was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 2nd to lead off the inning. Sacrificed over to second base and then tried to score on a 2-out single, was gunned down at the plate.
Hit in the air out to left field. No problem for Stauffer. 1 away.
That ball was hit hard, right on the button. Unfortunately, right to the left fielder, and that's out number 1 for the Hornets.
Number 23, Willie Boyd, will step in, the third baseman. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He sacrificed. Santagate, who led off the 2nd, was hit by a pitch and was bunted over by Boyd. The 0-1 pitch swung on and ripped into right field. Orocho goes back and puts that away. 2 hard hit balls, the 2 outs for Wheaton.
Those could have easily been back-to-back doubles if they're hit anywhere else. Those balls are in the gap a little bit. Wheaton has the lead.
Number 12, Chris Ruwako, the second baseman. First pitch from Dutton. He swings a looper just over the infield.
That's baseball. Such a funny game. That's why we love it and hate it at the same time. 2 balls hit hard right at the corner outfielders for outs. Ruwako gets sawed off on a pitch, able to muscle it into center field for a single.
Now the top of the order with 2 away for Josh LaJoy. LaJoy doubled and singled.
Ruwalko's 2 for 2 on the year stolen bases. Not a bad time to try one. Dutton, the sidearm reliever. Typically, sidearm relievers are slow to the plate because it takes them so long to get rid of the ball. I would expect a stolen base attempt at some point during this at-bat.
And to attempt to slow down any stolen base attempt, we've seen Dutton fake a pickoff and now throw a pickoff over there.
For Wheaton, it just makes a ton of sense trying to get the go-ahead run to second base with 2 outs. Worst case scenario, you're thrown out. You have your leadoff hitter, LaJoy, to lead off next inning.
And that's a ball to LaJoy. It's 1-0. LaJoy swings on one and loops it into right field, where it'll land foul.
LaJoy 2 for 2 on the day. Hit that single up the middle with 2 outs. And teammate Santagate throwing out the plate to end the second inning.
Pitch by Dutton. Swung on and hit high in the air down the right field line. Sliding catch by Tristan Baker, the second baseman. Nice play out there by the Hornet. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. Wheaton gets a runner on, but it's still 1-1. Wheaton and Shenandoah back in a moment. And it'll be Tristan Baker, who made a great defensive play, a sliding catch on a ball down the right field line. The second baseman will lead things off in the top half of the 5th inning.
That was an unbelievable play by Baker. Moving back and to his left, makes a sliding basket catch over his shoulder. Baker has been extremely impressive defensively throughout this regional, consistently making difficult plays look easy. He also serves as a leadoff hitter for the Shenandoah team. Coming into the game, Baker is 8th in this regional with 6 hits.
Santagate has a word with Sutherland. With the count 1-1. Pitch from Sutherland. Hard hit grounder just past the pitcher. It'll be LaJoy up with it for the out. 6-3 put out. 1 down here in the 5th. Brings up Abel Arocho.
And how impressive has this Wheaton pitching staff been in this regional? 31 1/3 innings pitched. They have only given up 8 runs, 6 of them earned.
1-1, the count on Orocho. And Coach, you're right. It seems like the best pitching performances have largely come from the Lions pitching staff. They've just been dominant so far in this regional. Orocho pops one foul, and that's going to get out of play. Several Wheaton players chase after it. Boyd, the third baseman, LaJoy, the shortstop, went to have a look. Two strikes and one out. The pitch from Sutherland to Orocho. Breaking ball just misses. Ball 1-2.
Wheaton really is in the situation they're in because of their pitching. They only have two offensive players in the top 20 in batting average in this regional.
Orocho, and when he's not lining singles to right field, he's lining them to left field. His second hit of the day.
Great piece of hitting by Orocho. He's shown an ability to spray the ball to all fields. Line drive after line drive. Also a good runner, good defensive outfielder. Extremely impressive player.
And that brings up number 25, Nick Good, with one out. Takes a ball.
Going back to what we were speaking about earlier, Wheaton, really their pitching, the main reason they're here. Their offense has come through with timely hits. They've got contributions from up and down their lineup. They've been able to bunt, run, do the little things.
Pitch from Sutherland, swung on and foul.
So when we say that they only have two batters in the top 20 in average in this regional, that's not a knock. On the contrary, it's a compliment to how well coached this team is, how they play as one team. Might not be the most talented team we have in this regional, but so far they've been the best team. And that's exactly why they're one win away from the College World Series.
And we have the 1-1 from Sutherland. Good, drops a bunt. That's a great bunt. Throw over. Great play by Walsh. That throw from Boyd looked like it might sail down the line. Boyd trying anything he could to try to make a play on Nick Good. But Good had just had that bunt beaten out. Probably should have just eaten it. Got bailed out by his first baseman, Walsh.
Yeah, if you're playing against this Shenandoah team and the three-hitter Nick Good is up, you better have your third baseman in on the grass. That's multiple times throughout this regional that he's shown an ability to drop flawless bunts down the third baseline. Boyd does all he could to make the play. Throws high. I don't think he would have had the speedy Good anyway.
And now Jake Lowe, the cleanup hitter, steps in, and the first pitch from Sutherland misses for a ball. One away here. Not the first guy that Wheaton would want to see facing them in this situation. And Lowe has started to heat up for the last day or two. That's a chopper. Great play by Walsh. Throws behind the pitcher. Sutherland can't come up with the throw, and that's going to result in a run
And
for the Hornets.
That's a backbreaker for the Lions. Walsh makes a great play. That ball wasn't easy. He goes and gets it. He's on the ground, sitting down on the ground, has time to get to a knee at least and underhand it. Instead, from the ground, tries to make a throw. Very tough play, makes it a lot harder on himself. That throw kicks away. Sutherland not able to corral it. Ball goes to our right of the home plate, so the catcher, Santagate, has to go get it. Nobody at home. And Orocho able to score. And that's a huge play in this ball game. The Hornets have runners on the corners with only one out for the catcher, Cameron.
Pitch from Sutherland. Almost hits Cameron.
This Wheaton defense has been so good in this regional. That's the play they've avoided all weekend long. We have a great base hit bunt by Good. can't make the play on it, and that error from the first baseman. And the Hornets reclaim the lead here 2-1 in the top of the fifth and are threatening. Sutherland going to try to get a ground ball from Cameron to get out of this inning.
Credited a single to Lowe, and the run scores on a throwing error. Cameron hits one hard, but foul.
Curious ruling on that. I can understand why they made that ruling. I do think Walsh had plenty of time to get to his feet, at least to his knees, and underhand the ball. Lowe, a good runner, but that ball was hit pretty hard. Sutherland was at the bag. Good throw has him.
Cameron hits it in the air out to center field, put away for the out. Runner from third comes in. It's a sacrifice fly as Good scores on that fly ball to center by Cameron. And now it's 3-1 in favor of Shenandoah.
Good job by Cameron hitting the ball hard. Driving that run in, that's a big run. And again, that error looming large, not just because the Lions were unable to get the out, not just because a run scored on it, but that the runner was able to move up to third to be in scoring position to score on a sac fly.
And number 4, Newsman, grounds out to Ruwaka, the second baseman, puts him away, and that'll be that in the inning. But Shenandoah adds 2. They lead Wheaton 3-2 here at the Mid-Atlantic Regional at Peoples Bank Park. We'll be back after a break. Matt Cook to lead things off for Wheaton in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Lions trail 3-1 after a 2-run top half of the fifth here by Shenandoah. Inning extended by an error. Strike 1.
Very important inning here in the bottom of the fifth. We talked about it all weekend, the importance of shutdown innings.
Cook hits one in the air. The shortstop drifts back, and Marcel puts that away. The first out, it'll bring up Sharkey.
Shenandoah able to push 2 runs across in the top of the fifth after the error from the Lions defense. And if they're able to set the 2, 3, 4 hitters down for the Lions and keep the momentum going into the sixth inning.
Sharkey hits that one to left field.
And the
Schaefer,
ball
the ball rolls free. Looked like Stauffer made a heck of a catch on that one, but the ball comes free.
Stauffer was fully extended. Would have been an unbelievable catch. I think he made 95% of that play. That ball's in the glove on the ground. Everyone starts to call him out, and we see the ball rolling away from the glove. Fantastic effort by the left fielder. Will obviously be ruled a hit. Ball was ripped in the left center gap, but Stauffer made an unbelievable attempt at it. he'll tell you that he's disappointed with himself for not coming up with it. Seems like he did the hard part by getting to it, getting it in the glove, goes to the ground, unable to control it.
Stauffer actually listed as a catcher on the Shenandoah roster, so for a guy who usually makes his living behind the dish, to show that kind of range out there in left field, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's in there for his bat. Make no mistake, that's why Stauffer's in the lineup. And any defense you get out of him is going to be a plus.
Pitch to Goodwin. Boyd bounces.
Reminds me of the old saying that the best thing you can say about his defense is he's a good hitter.
Definitely, Coach. As Goodwin Boyd waits for the 2-0. And it goes to 3-0. Expect Goodwin Boyd to be taking all the way here.
Yeah, and this will be interesting. You know, do you think about giving your four-hitter the green light as a tying run? Looks like we'll never know, as that pitch wasn't close.
And after the single by Sharkey, a walk to Goodwin Boyd, 2 aboard with 1 out for Raposo. Raposo has walked and hit into a 6-4-3 double play.
So Raposo in his second at-bat has runners on base again. That's 5 runners on base in the last 2 at-bats. Grounded into a double play. The first run for Wheaton was able to score, but Shenandoah would gladly took those 2 outs. Has a chance to redeem himself here.
He hits one high in the air down the right side. And Baker calls off Newsman, puts it away in foul territory. Another good play by the second baseman.
Another great play by the second baseman. And that's twice that Dutton has gotten Raposo to hit in a weak contact with runners in scoring position.
Number 16, Tyler Walsh, the sophomore from Columbia, Rhode Island, steps in.
Walsh lined out in that inning, in that bottom of the third, after Raposo grounded the double play. There was still a runner at third with 2 outs. Walsh hit a screamer at the third baseman.
Walsh fouls that away. He finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
And if you're Dutton here, you don't want to throw a good pitch. You don't want to leave anything up. You're up in the count 0-2. You want to throw at least 1 or 2 balls out of the strike zone, try to get the right-hander Walsh to swing and miss.
And Walsh does just that. He swings and misses. And that's a strikeout for Dutton. That'll end the inning. 2 runners left on base. Shenandoah will bat in the top of the 6th, leading Wheaton 3-1. No problem. Just you picked it up. So just pick the stuff up. Leading things off here in the 6th is Donnie Forgus, the third baseman for Shenandoah. First pitch from Sutherland swung on and missed. Both pitchers with good outings so far here today.
Yeah, and Sutherland, those 2 runs last inning, both unearned.
Forgas hits that one out to the center fielder. And Cook puts it away for the first out.
This is such an interesting game because coming into the first game of the winners, of the championship round, really all the pressure is on that team from the losers bracket. In this case, that's Shenandoah. They've had to play more games than Wheaton. They're deeper into the pitching staff than Wheaton. If they're able to hold on and pull off the victory, as we have a ground ball to the second baseman.
Hipstoffer swings early in the count and hits one out to Rawako for a 4-3 putout.
If Shenandoah is able, and we're a long way away from this happening, but if they are able to pull off this victory, in my mind, the pressure switches then to Wheaton for our championship game, because really both pitching staffs are able to get another day of rested. Both teams are able to bring back their Thursday starter, hypothetically on 3 days rest.
Marcel hits this one in the air out to right field, and Goodwin Boyd puts it away, 3 up, 3 down.
And at that point, both teams are relatively, the pitching advantage goes away. So really important game. Wheaton will look to get something started here in the bottom of the sixth as they're trailing Shenandoah 3-1.
Back in a minute.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Santagate, the catcher for Wheaton, will lead off their half of the sixth. Dutton still on the mound for Shenandoah, has been very effective out of the pen.
Santagate hits that one foul. Dutton now with 3 scoreless innings in this one after 2 1/3 scoreless innings in today's first game when Shenandoah eliminated number 2 Johns Hopkins, the top seed in this tournament. Shenandoah coming from behind for the 4-2 win.
And we mentioned it at the time, but how huge was that bottom of the third inning? Dutton was able to come in and induce a double play with the bases loaded and nobody out. Get out of it, only allowing 1 run.
Santagate hits one to straightaway center field. And there's 1 away now for Willie Boyd. Boyd with a sacrifice and a fly out. He's 0 for 1 today. Pitch from Dutton. Swung on and missed.
Earlier in this regional, we talked about how many teams at the Division III level now have a submarine or sidearm pitcher. It's becoming very popular as it becomes harder and harder to find high-velocity relievers. Having a pitcher that throws a ball that moves every which way is very important.
As Boyd hits a bloop, it gets just over the reach of the diving Baker. Baker going for a third spectacular play. Nice piece of hitting there by Boyd to get it just over the infield in front of the outfielders.
And with those submarine or sidearm pitchers, with that ball, cutting, diving, really the goal is to miss barrels. And Dutton was able to miss the barrel of Willie Boyd. However, Boyd strong enough to muscle it out into right field for the 1-out single.
Pitch to Ruwako. Dutton misses high and inside. Will be ball 1, 1-0 the count. One away here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Good swing by Rocco, just missed it. He's right on Dutton.
1-1 after the foul ball. The pitch from Dutton. That'll miss. Cameron looks the runner back to first. Doesn't make a pickoff attempt behind the runner, but jumps up.
Our home plate umpire for this game is Dave Snyder, and he's been fantastic behind the plate thus far in this ball game.
Pitch from Dutton. That misses inside. 3-1 now. The count on Ruwako, the number 9 hitter. Shenandoah looking to stay alive. Wheaton looking to capture the regional crown and advance to the College World Series. Ruwako trots down to first with a walk.
Coach Anderson coming out to the mound to talk to Dutton. Meanwhile, southpaw throwing in the Shenandoah bullpen. LaJoy, the leadoff hitter for the Lions, up now with first and second, one out. He'll be followed by left-handed hitting Cook. Sharkey, the 3-hitter, is right-handed, and then dangerous Goodwin Boyd in the 4-hole. My guess is Shenandoah is having this lefty up most likely for Goodwin Boyd in the 4-hole. As good of a hitter as Cook is, you'd rather not have the lefty facing the talented 3-hitter in Sharkey. So if I had to guess, I would say Dutton will be in here to try to get LaJoy, Cook, Sharkey, and then bring in the southpaw for the lefty-lefty matchup against Goodwin Boyd. Coach Anderson and the Hornets might not be able to wait that long. If LaJoy is able to come through, you might have to bring the lefty in to face the 2-hitter and Cook.
First pitch from Dutton. That'll miss wide outside. Ball 1.
This really shows one of the benefits when you have a lineup that goes right, left, right, left. It really puts pressure on the opponent and the coaching staff to decide what matchup they want to avoid.
Hit high in the air by LaJoy. Coming in as a center fielder. Good, nice catch for the out. And that's 2 away here in the 6th. Brings up Cook.
Balls to the outfield are really getting pushed back to the infield. It's important that infielders don't give up on those balls that are hit over their head thinking they'll be to the outfield, because right now the wind is pushing everything back. We've seen infielders have to make some pretty tough plays here in this ball game.
Pitch from Dutton just misses the zone. 1-1. Swung on and fouled away by Cook. Cook, a 280 hitter, 5 doubles on the year.
Big spot in this ball game. Wheaton threatening here in the bottom of the 6th. Cook trying to extend the inning, get it to Sharkey, and then the talented Goodwin Boyd with the tying run on first base.
Hit hard into
That's
right
gonna be
field.
Trouble.
Lance,
Just foul.
Just foul.
Jeff, that thing, I had a great view of it. That ball was less than a foot foul. If that falls in fair territory, that's a tie. We have a tie ball game.
Yeah, hard hit ball down the right field line, but Cook just can't quite keep it fair.
A game of inches.
Pitch from Dutton misses wide. Ball 1. Cook swings and fouls another pitch off.
Great at bat so far from Cook. And if you're Dutton, really important that you try to get the number 2 hitter here. Sharkey on deck. The 3 hitter. He's had a very good regional.
Hit out into the outfield. The right fielder, Rocho, circles under it on the move and puts it away for the 3rd out. More runners left on base for Wheaton. And at the end of 6, it's Shenandoah 3, Wheaton 1. Tristan Baker set to lead things off here against Sutherland. Top of the 7th inning. Baker takes strike 1. It's that one foul down the 3rd baseline. Fouls that one off to the other side. 0 for 2 today for Baker with a walk.
The difference in this ball game is the Wheaton error in the top of the 5th that led to 2 unearned runs for Shenandoah.
Baker fouls that one off.
Something we haven't seen from the Lions in their first 3 games during this regional is defensive errors and miscues, and that one play, the difference right now.
Another foul by Baker. 76 pitches for Dan Sutherland. That pitch just misses.
Great pitch from Sutherland. Not sure how Baker laid off that pitch. Started out in the strike zone.
Two now the count. Hit hard on the ground. Diving, stopped by the shortstop LaJoy, but no chance to get him at first base.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter Baker, extremely athletic, good runner. LaJoy does all he can to get to that ball. Really impressed with the effort he gave, unable to throw out Baker. And Orocho, 2 for 3 on the day. Steps up to the plate.
First pitch from Sutherland. Orocho looks bunt, pulls it back. 1-0 the count.
Interesting decision here from Coach Anderson and the Shenandoah Hornets. Rocho's been on fire the last couple of games, but with your two-hitter up, this makes sense to sacrifice him over for the middle of the order. The other option is now that we've gotten into a 1-0 count, does Coach Anderson decide to take the bunt off, let Rocho swing away, possibly hit and run with a 3-1 lead, a lot of options for the Hornets.
Sutherland gets it over for a strike.
Yeah,
1-1.
Now we could see the sacrifice bunt put back on. Good and low, the next two hitters for the Hornets.
Runner off with the pitch, hit and run. Arocho goes for one, low and away. Diving stop by LaJoy. First and second will be an infield single.
I love the call. Arocho, great back control, has hit the ball around the field all day today. Baker, runner starting. LaJoy, the shortstop, has to vacate his position to cover the bag for the steal. And Arocho hits the ball in what would have been straight up shortstop. LaJoy has to scramble back. He's able to knock the ball down, which stops Baker from advancing to third. But Shenandoah has something going, and now this is definitely a sacrifice bunt situation with the three-hitter good.
Sutherland checks the runners and spins towards second, steps off the rubber.
Good squares around, good and excellent bunter. I think he's going to lay this bunt down. Then Wheaton will have the option to put the left hitting low on base. I think if Good's able to get this bunt down, Wheaton's able to make the play. I think we'll see the catcher Cameron with one out and the bases loaded.
Good bunt by Good. Throws down. Sacrifice. Gets the runner at first.
Yeah, great call. Coach Anderson's going to come out and argue that Good beat it. That was an excellent play by the Wheaton defense. I think we got the call right. I'm not sure. I think Coach Anderson is asking the umpires to come together to see if that foot was pulled off the bag. The six-man umpiring crew will get together. You don't get together and talk about a judgment call of whether a guy was out or safe. The only reason they're getting together is somebody must think that that first baseman was pulled off the bag. Didn't necessarily think that was the case from here. If anything, you could have said that the runner beat it, but I think they got the call right initially, and I'm confident they'll stick with it. And again, just moving forward, that puts us in the situation where the talented left-handed hitting low will probably be put on to load the bases and set up a double play.
I agree, Coach. I think Walsh kept the bag at first.
Pretty long conversation here. Yep. And ultimately, I think the call was right initially, and they'll stick with it. We'll see what the Wheaton coaching staff decides to do. I think we have some action in the bullpen. Can't see who it is from here, but
I'm going to make a move to
we'll
the
see a pitching
bullpen.
change. Very interesting here. Bringing in a lefty will get you the name and number. The two options here really are you bringing the lefty to face the left-handed hitting low, or you possibly leave the right-handed out there, Sutherland, and put low on.
Sutherland, the runners on base are his responsibility, but 6 1/3 innings, 3 runs, 1 earned, 10 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. 88 pitches, 7 flyouts, 10 groundouts.
Looks like the new pitcher is at number 35, John Bongiovanni. I'm sorry, that looks like number 26, Jimmy Gowan. Gowan, coming into the regional, has had 17 appearances on the mound, 21 2/3 innings, 1-1 record with a 5.40 ERA. Opponents are hitting .360 off the left-hander. Only 8 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings. And this is a curious decision to bring in the lefty that isn't a power lefty, because in this situation you'd certainly be looking for a strikeout. The extremely talented Lowe at the plate. You know, if it's me, I'm taking my chances with the right-handed hitting catcher Cameron on deck. I would put Lowe on, probably have a righty out there on the mound, and hope for a double play. Of course, I'm here and the Wheaton coaching staff is there, so we'll see what happens.
Gowan's first pitch misses. Gowan also appeared in the first game of the regional and went 2 1/3 innings and allowed 1 run on a hit and a walk.
I think if you have a left-handed power pitcher, power reliever that's a strikeout guy, you could go this route. But with the soft toss and Gowan, it's certainly an interesting move.
That one misses, and it's 2-0 now on Lowe.
Certainly seems like the plan of attack here for Gowan is to throw off-speed pitches at the left-handed hitting Lowe. Try to get soft contact, swings and misses. Now that he's 2-0, I'm not sure we'll see him give in. I think he'll stick with the off-speed.
And there's a fastball that carries deep out into center field. Over the head of the center fielder for a ground rule double. Cook appeared to have a bead on it. I thought he was going to make a running catch on the track, but it ends up just out of his reach. Lands on the track, hops over the white rose sign and onto the sliding board for a ground rule double.
Again, hard to argue against Coach Podbelski and all the success he's had in this regional. Gowan fell behind 2-0 with the base open, decided to challenge Lowe, the lefty, who I believe that'll be his 58th and 59th RBI on the year. Definitely the best hitter statistically on this Hornets ball club.
And 2 runs, of course, scored on the ground rule double. Baker and Arocho come home, and it's 5-1 Shenandoah as they try to force a second championship game here in this double elimination tournament. Should Wheaton come back and win, the tournament's over. Wheaton will win the regional. They haven't suffered a loss yet. Shenandoah trying to even the ledger at 1 loss apiece, which would force another game. Gowan's pitch over for a strike. 2-1 now, the count on Cameron.
And it's important that Wheaton keeps this game as close as possible. For one thing, they have 9 outs to work with, plenty of time to be able to come back in this game. But also, you want to keep the pressure on Shenandoah. You don't want them to get too far out in front where they're able to use a reliever that might not be one of their top relievers. You want every pitch Shenandoah throws to be an important one.
Cameron hits that on the ground out to LaJoy. LaJoy with the throw across for the out. Lowe holds at second. There's 2 away.
And again, it's easy for us to sit back here and second-guess decisions. Cameron hits a ground ball. If Lowe's on first base with the bases loaded, is that a ground ball double play? Of course, everything changes, situation, different pitches, different scenario, but wonder about that move if the Wheaton coaching staff could go and do it again. Obviously, they do it differently, but they made the decision that they felt was best for their team at the time.
First pitch to Newsman, a breaking ball over for a strike from Gowan.
Casual baseball fan doesn't realize how much goes into every decision. So many options. Earlier, Coach Anderson hit and running with his 2-hitter, Arocho. Instead of sacrifice bunting, they decide to sacrifice bunt with their 3-hitter Good. It's all these little decisions from both coaching staffs. The players are out there competing against one another. The coaching staffs are making these strategic decisions, trying to put their team in the best position to succeed.
Pitch from Gowan, swung on and hit out to second base. Ruwaka will field it. Over to Walsh for the 4-3 putout. That'll end the inning, but not before a 2-run double by Lowe. stretches the lead for Shenandoah to 5-1. We'll head to the bottom half of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Peoples Bank Park.
This is our It's On Us pledge. It's on us to make a personal commitment to help keep all people safe from sexual assault, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or ability.
Not to be bystanders to the problem, but to be leaders of the solution. We invite you to join us in this campaign by informing your campuses about the It's On Us mission.
Jared Sharkey will lead things off here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The deficit for Wheaton, the 3rd seed here in the regional, has expanded to 4 runs after a 2-run double by Jake Lowe in the top of the 7th. Brought home a couple more runs for the Hornets. Sharkey, the 0-1 pitch over for a strike, makes it 0-2.
And how about Dutton still in this ball game?
Dutton needed just 11 pitches to get 7 outs. Earlier today, he came on as a reliever in the win over Johns Hopkins. Picked up the win in that game. Now he's on in this one.
Dutton, coming into the regional, has only thrown 6 2/3 innings all year, and he's 9 outs away from getting 2 wins on the Sunday in the NCAA regional.
And Dutton comes off the mound to field that one, and that means that today he's thrown 6 2/3 innings between the 2 games he's pitched in today. So he's matched his output from the whole season here today in the regional, giving the Hornets some great innings.
Yeah, today, Dutton 6 2/3, 1 win. On the season, entering this regional, Dutton 6 2/3, 1 win. As Goodwin Boyd hits one down the right field line.
The fielders collide, Newsman and
Baker.
Baker.
Yeah, you hope Newsman and Baker are okay. That ball hit in foul territory down the right field line. They collided. Newsman gets up, Baker's still down, and he'll get up too. Looks like they're okay as they ran into each other.
No one called that off, or one of the fielders didn't hear their teammate call them off and crashed into one another down the right field line. They're walking back to the infield. Sports medicine staff and Coach Anderson double checking on their players. The sports medicine staff already veered off, so obviously both players okay. Coach Anderson just giving some coaching advice or words of encouragement to the 2 infielders.
Yeah, and again, Dutton now 8 outs away from beating 1-seeded, number 2 ranked Johns Hopkins.
Goodwin Boyd lifts a fly ball into left field. Stauffer will put it away for the out.
And number 3 seeded in this regional, Wheaton.
The designated hitter, Raposo, steps in. He walked, hit into a double play, and fouled out. 0 for 2. Hits one hard in the hole on the left side, past the third baseman Forgas, and into left field for a base hit. One aboard with 2 down for Wheaton.
Yeah, Raposo, his last 2 times at the plate prior to that single, came up with the bases loaded, nobody out. Then came up with runners at first and second. Last inning, I believe with 2 outs, or 1 out, I'm sorry. Unable to come through in those situations, both of those situations. However, he does come up with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 7th, hoping to start a rally for the Lions.
The delivery from Dutton misses wide for a ball. The 1-0 pitch swung on, hit on the ground to third. That'll be Forgus to Baker for the fielder's choice. The third out recorded. Wheaton doesn't get any runs back here in the bottom half of the 7th. We'll head to the 8th in the first championship round of the regional, with Shenandoah leading Wheaton 5-1. Back after this. Donnie Forgus leading things off here for Shenandoah in the top of the 8th. The Mid-Atlantic Regional, he'll take a swing and a miss against Jimmy Gowan, the left-hander from Wheaton. Gowan on in relief. Came on last inning to replace Sutherland. Swung on and ground ball. Ruwaka with a diving stop, throws from his backside.
What a play by Ruwako.
Phenomenal play by the second baseman, diving up the middle. I thought that was through for a hit, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. I started to look down on my score sheet, and unbelievable play. That's one of the best defensive plays we've seen over the last 4 days. That ball ripped up the middle on the ground. Ruwako dives to his right, and from the ground makes a strong, accurate throw to first base.
Pinch hitter now for Shenandoah, number 23, Nate Lohman.
Yeah, Lohman, I believe, had a pinch hit the other night. Good move by Coach Anderson. The lefty on the mound, Gowan, will go with the right-handed hitter. This is also a move for defense, just as well as we talked about earlier. Stauffer in the lineup and left today for his bat. He came up with a big 2-run double in the first game. Not typically an outfielder, starting in left. Hornets able to get a lead, allows them to go with the right-handed hitting matchup here, and then they'll go defensive purposes. I'd expect Cruz to go to center and Good to slide over to left.
After 2 straight balls from Gowan, Lohman has swung and missed at a pair of pitches. We're 2-2 here with 1 out, nobody on. Hit the other way by Lohman. That'll be a base hit into right field. Kicks away from Goodwin Boyd, but Lohman will stay where he is. I actually wouldn't even be surprised to see Cruz come in to run for Lohman.
And here he comes. Good call there, Jeff. Shenandoah, Coach Anderson and Shenandoah pressing all the right buttons now. Ever since that 3rd inning, bringing Dutton in with the bases loaded, nobody out, getting the double play, only giving up 1 run in that situation. The sacrifice bunt with Good, the hit and run with Orocho, leaving Dutton in the game. This move here, Shenandoah coaching staff putting their team in a great position to succeed.
That brings on Marcel. He'll face Gowan. Gowan with a throw over to first. There is action in the Wheaton bullpen, I believe. A little hard to see the bullpens from our vantage point. But I see another member of the Lions roster standing there to play defense in case a foul ball gets down there, so you would assume someone is behind them throwing. Marcel now has the count at 1-1 after taking for a strike from Gowan.
And the big hit in this game is the cleanup hitter for Shenandoah, Lowe, with a ground rule double with runners on second and third and one out in the top of the seventh.
Gowan throws over again.
Cruz. Sorry, Jeff. I'm sure we're both touching on the same thing. Yeah. Cruz came into the regional with 6 stolen bases. I believe he had 1 earlier today.
Shenandoah sacrifices Cruz over to second. Marcel with a nice bunt. Gowan charged forward and fielded it through over to first for the out.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of sacrifice bunts with 1 out already. You got to think maybe the goal there was to bump for a hit, with the downside to that decision being a sacrifice. So you're still in a good spot here with a runner at second for your leadoff hitter, Baker.
Exactly, Coach. And actually, I believe they're only crediting Marcel with a ground out bunt.
You wonder if that'll go back and be changed. I'm not sure. Either way, we're at the top of the 8th. Shenandoah leads 5-1. They're threatening again here with the leadoff hitter Baker up to bat. Speedy Cruz at second base.
Pitch from Gowan. Misses for a ball. 2-1. Gowan spins on a pickoff throw to second. Cruz just back ahead of it. Gowan looks in and delivers. Fouled away by number 7, Tristan Baker.
So to recap where we stand now, Shenandoah scored in the top of the second with 1 run. Wheaton answered in the bottom of the third, had the bases loaded, nobody out. They were only able to push 1 run across. Shenandoah took advantage of a Wheaton error in the top of the 5th, ended up scoring 2 runs to take the lead 3-1. And then, as we just said, in the top of the 7th last inning, cleanup hitter Lowe with a big
Boyd hits one into the hole. LaJoy cuts it off from getting to the outfield. Might have prevented Cruz from scoring, but it's still going to be a single. Diving attempt by the third baseman, Boyd. He couldn't get it. LaJoy came across from the other direction, managed to cut it off. Good range by LaJoy just to get there.
Yeah, LaJoy definitely saved a run on that play. Cruz is scoring from second base if that ball gets through to left field. Now we have the hot Orocho, 3 for 4 in this game at the plate with runners at first and third and 2 outs.
First, we're going to get a pitching change here. Head coach Eric Podbelski from Wheaton signaling to the bullpen. That'll be it for Gowan. Gowan, 1 1/3 innings. The 2 runners are his responsibility. He has not been scored on yet. 3 hits allowed. 25 pitches. He replaced Sutherland, 6 1/3 innings, 5 runs, 3 earned, 10 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. 10 ground ball outs for Sutherland, who gave a strong start. A couple unearned runs.
Yeah, and right now coming into pitch for the Lions Number 36, Zach Pippa. The Southpaw Pippa is coming into the regional with off of an excellent season. Up until this point, he has made 17 appearances, 19 innings pitched. All of those appearances coming out of the bullpen. 2.84 ERA, 0 wins, 1 loss, 21 strikeouts in 19 innings. Pipa certainly seems to have some swing and miss stuff with more strikeouts than innings pitched. And he'll have a tough matchup to lead off his day against the hot-hitting Orocho.
Gowan did surrender that ground rule double to Lowe, the first batter he faced. But both of those runs were charged to Sutherland. Runners Sutherland had put on base. Rocho here in the 8th. Behind in the count, 0-1.
Yeah, delay steal there from Baker. We saw this from Shenandoah earlier in the regional. They're trying to draw the throw to second base from the catcher to be able to score. Cruz, actually we saw that not work for Shenandoah earlier in this regional where their runner was thrown out at second base before the runner third could score. Wheaton decides to throw the ball to shortstop to just give Baker second base.
Pippa looks in and he'll deliver the 2-1. Called strike 2-2. Orocho 3 for 4 on the day. He'll roll one out to short. Ruaco up and over. That'll retire the side. Pippa comes in and gets his team out of the jam. The deficit will stay at 4 as we head to the bottom half of the 8. Wheaton will bat, trailing 5-1. Back in a minute.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Joe Santagate set to lead things off here for Wheaton. Wheaton trailing 5-1 against Shenandoah as the Hornets, the 10th ranked team in the nation and the number 2 seed in this regional, try to force another championship game. Wheaton hoping to come back and end it in this one. As Santagate gets a swing on one and hits it high into the outfield. And it'll be put away by Good. Good slid over to left field. Cruz, who pinch ran last inning, stays in the game to play center.
And if you're just joining us, the story of this game, at least in my mind, is Shenandoah's relief pitcher, Neil Dutton. Dutton, who started several games in left field during this regional, got the win against nationally ranked Johns Hopkins in Game 1 today in only his 7th inning of the season, and comes into the game in the bottom of the 3rd with the 1-0 lead with the bases loaded, nobody out, is able to induce a double play and get a line out to get out of the inning. Now is pitched 4 scoreless innings since then, in line for his second win of the day.
Great attempt by Baker on a ground ball by Boyd, but Boyd will beat it out for the infield single. A slow roller up the middle, just past Dutton on the pitcher's mound, and until Baker got there was no chance really to get Boyd.
So again, to summarize, coming into this regional, Dutton only threw 6 2/3 innings, 1-0. He has a chance to have 2 wins on the day and add to that win total to become 3-0.
Swung on and hit in the air by Ruwako. Cruz trots in and puts it away. 2 down with a runner on first for the leadoff hitter, LaJoy. Dutton coached enter this tournament with an 8.3 ERA. He's shaved over 5 runs off of that at this point. He's down to 2.92. Popped up by LaJoy, carrying back the shortstop Marcel. A couple of steps into the grass, and he'll put that one away. As Wheaton goes quietly in the 8th. Still trailing 5-1 as we head to the top of the 9th. Shenandoah leading back after this. Number 25, Nick Good. Started the game in center. He slid over to left last inning. He'll lead things off here. Swings at the first pitch. And Santagate with a diving catch. The catcher drifted into foul territory after that one. Kind of lost it and realized at the last moment he had to dive back towards fair territory after it, and he comes up with it for the first out.
We talked about this yesterday. Those are tough plays. Balls hit behind the catcher, behind home plate, have a tendency to come back behind you towards fair territory. Santagate got too far underneath it, had to make an unbelievable catch to make up for it. Good job by the catcher.
Pitch from Pippa. And the count goes to 2-0 on Jake Lowe.
And we don't have any action in the Shenandoah bullpen. It looks like Dutton will be asked to come back out to start the bottom of the 9th.
At this point, Coach, why not?
Yeah, I agree. He's been effective.
Pitch to Lowe, strike 1, 3-1 the count.
He's been effective to say the least, going 6 scoreless innings against the only unbeaten team in this regional, Wheaton College.
Dutton so far, 6 innings, just 5 hits and 2 walks. And only 62 pitches to do it, about 10 pitches an inning.
I think if we go back to and look at his statistics, I think he's, of the 15 outs he's gotten via contact, 13 of them I believe were flyouts to only 2 groundouts. He's not throwing balls hard up there to the plate. He's throwing sidearm. The ball's moving. Wheaton is getting out in front on the Wheaton hitters are out in front on their front foot, popping the ball up.
"13 flyouts, 3 groundouts, Coach, and fly ball pitcher against Hopkins as well. So on the day, 17 flyouts and 6 groundouts over 8 1/3 innings. And he hasn't given up a run. You don't see that horribly often, but it's been contact in the air, but not always that solid of contact. And Cameron takes a swing at one here from Pippa and misses.
Yeah, so Dutton has thrown more innings in the last 7 hours than he has in the last 4 months. And he's in line for his second win of the day, which will triple the amount of wins he has on the season.
The 1-1 from Pippa. Cameron hits it up into the air. Goodwin Boyd comes in a couple of steps to put that one away. 2 down with Lowe, the runner at first. Newsman, the first baseman, 0 for 4 today. Hasn't hit the ball out of the infield. Grounded out to the second baseman 3 times and to the first baseman once.
We mentioned this earlier as Newsman takes ball 1. Really coming into this game 1 of the championship round, the pressure is all on Shenandoah having to beat the unbeaten Wheaton twice. Shenandoah is 3 outs away from winning this game. Really swings the pressure to Wheaton to not get swept in this championship round, as we'll go to a championship game tomorrow. The if necessary game would take place.
Runner off with the pitch. Throw down to second from Santagate. And they get him stealing. Lowe tries to steal second. He's gunned down on the play. And that'll end the inning. 2-4 on the putout. As we head now to the last chance for Wheaton, the bottom of the 9th. They'll need some dramatics as they trail 5-1 in the regional back after a break. And we're back here for the bottom of the 9th at the Mid-Atlantic Regional. Shenandoah leads 5-1, trying to extend their life here and forcing the if necessary championship game you always see on these double elimination brackets. As Dutton deals to Cook, and Cook with a swing and a miss.
And not a bad spot to be in the order for Wheaton if you're going to come back into this game. 2, 3, 4, Cook, Sharkey, Goodwin, Boyd due up.
Cook out ahead of 1-0-2. Wheaton, the only undefeated team left in this field. Shenandoah, the only one-loss team left in the field. Trying to force a game between a pair of one-loss teams to see who will take the Mid-Atlantic Regional Championship and advance on to the National Championships. Dutton delivers, swung on and missed by Cook. Cameron drops the ball. And Cook is safe at first. Cameron throws it away down the line. Cook is around second. He's going in for third. He'll get there standing up and get the stop sign.
That's exactly the type of play you need if you're going to try to come back and tie this game. Going to need some luck and some mistakes on the hand of the Hornets. Cook swung and missed. Strike 3, ball in the dirt. Cook, give him credit for busting it down that line. And Cameron throws the ball into right field. I think what Shenandoah and Coach Anderson is arguing is that Cook was running too far into the grass out of the baseline. Newsman, that throw wasn't, it was a little bit high. It looks like he just completely whiffed. I think that throw, the runner was in front of Newsman. He couldn't see the ball.
Umpires will confer.
They're going to get together on this, and before they make their ruling, just my 2 cents. I think Cook was running in the baseline hard down that line. The ball kicked away into the baseline. With Cook's speed, Cameron had to get rid of it right away. And just the angle didn't allow for the first baseman Newsman to see that throw. I don't think it was anything Cook did wrong. I just think it was the angle and the timing. Great hustle by Cook, putting the pressure on the defense. And Wheaton's going to try to get something going here in the bottom of the 9th.
And the call is upheld after the conference. Sharkey goes after the first pitch, and he's going to hit a weak pop-up just into the outfield grass. Marcel puts it away for the first out. Sharkey in this one. And Goodwin Boyd comes up with one away and a runner on third. Swings and hits one deep into right field. Orocho chasing back just shy of the track, puts it away. One run will come home for a sacrifice fly, but more importantly for Shenandoah, Wheaton is now down to their last out. They'll gladly trade the out for the run in this situation.
No doubt about it. Off the bat, I thought that I had a chance to land in the home run patio. On the first 2 days of this regional, that ball is likely out of here as the ball was carrying out to right. Not today. Goodwin Boyd drives the ball to the warning track, but unable to get on base. So it'll come down to the DH Raposo trying to extend the game.
Swung on and missed by Raposo.
And now they're down to last strike. How about Neil Dutton, 1 strike away from getting the second win of the day. Again, only 6 2/3 innings pitched. Entering this regional, has thrown more than that in the last 8 hours. Looking for his second win of the day, third of the year.
Fouled out of play.
He's been fantastic. He came in the bottom of the third, bases loaded, nobody out, with his team up 1 run. Induced a double play, followed by a line drive, only giving up 1 of those inherited runs, and has gone the distance since.
Raposo with a hard line drive past Dutton for a single. Still life left in Wheaton.
And not only is Dutton 1 out away from sending his team to the if necessary game tomorrow, but he saved that bullpen. He's gone 7 innings, or 6 2/3 innings. That bullpen hasn't had to do any work. Should be fresh for tomorrow. But
hit high in the air by Walsh. That's over the arch nemesis.
And we can't speak too soon because Walsh hits an absolute bomb to left field. And this team is not going quietly.
Walsh with a big blast here. Pulls Wheaton within 5-4.
And the closer for Shenandoah, Tyler Hott, is hustling, taking his jacket off down to that bullpen as the Hornets are starting to sweat a little bit. The only bad thing you can say about that home run is there wasn't another runner on base to tie it up. Huge hit. Coach Anderson will come out. Let's see what he's looking down in the bullpen. I don't think Hott is ready. He was sitting down. He literally just stood up to start throwing. I'm not sure if Anderson's going to be able to bring his closer into the game right now. Might be coming out to the to mount, just a stall to give his closer more time to get ready.
I think that's the case, Coach.
Yeah, he looked down to the bullpen like he was about to signal for his closer. But again, we've been watching, and his closer just got up to start throwing maybe 25 seconds ago. Coach Anderson makes a slow walk back to the dugout. You got to wonder how much longer they'll stick with Dutton. Dutton's still in line for his second win of the day. But things are getting a little bit hairier here in York.
Pitch from Dutton. Over for a strike. Number 19, Santagate.
Just missed on the outside corner.
Pitch by Dutton, swung on, hard ground ball. Sliding Baker across over to Newsman. And Shenandoah holds on. Gives up 3 in the ninth, but they will force a championship game here at the Mid-Atlantic Regional.
Yeah, and they'll force a game 15. 14 games, not enough to decide this regional. They'll live another day. What a job by relief pitcher Neil Dutton, getting the second win of the day, winning both games. First beating Johns Hopkins, then coming back out of the bullpen to go 7 innings to beat undefeated Wheaton at this point.
Dutton allows 3 runs, all unearned here in the ninth because of an error to start the inning when Cook struck out but was safe at first on a throwing error.
Yeah, and both coaches are together. And as we just announced, Game 15 is tentatively scheduled for tomorrow. However, the forecast for tomorrow morning doesn't look great. So the announcers are advising the fans at the stadium and both teams to make sure to continue to check for updates regarding tomorrow's game time. You know, we've heard rumors, Jeff, of that game possibly moving to tomorrow night or Tuesday morning because of inclement weather possibly scheduled in this area tomorrow.
Exactly, Coach. A couple of possible sites. Not going to throw anything out there because we don't know. But could be tomorrow, depending on the weather. Could be Tuesday morning. GoMaxSports.com, the Middle Atlantic Conference, the hosts of this regional. They have a tournament website set up on their homepage. If you visit there, as soon as they know, I'm sure it'll end up the top story on their website as well. You probably don't even have to go to the tournament page once they post that.
Yeah, and, you know, the big story is Shenandoah forcing Game 15. And whether that happens Monday, tomorrow, or Tuesday, both teams will have their starter from Thursday available, assuming their coaches decide to go that route. They'd be on 3 days rest, which is certainly doable. We discussed earlier just how important this game was to keep Shenandoah's hopes alive, and really the pressure then switches to Wheaton as the pitching advantage, you know, disappears as far as the amount of games and amount of days, and Shenandoah having to go into the losers bracket. That advantage that Wheaton had disappears with both teams having their starters available from Thursday.
Definitely, Coach. And one last recap on this one. It'll be Dutton with the super relief effort. He'll pick up the win, 7 innings of relief. Did not allow an earned run. The loss goes to Sutherland. For Shenandoah, 3 hits apiece for Arocho and Lowe. Lowe with a pair of doubles and 2 RBIs. For Wheaton, LaJoy, Raposo, and Willie Boyd with 2 hits apiece. And a pleasure calling the NCAA Regional for everyone here at Peoples Bank Park. A special shout out to the staff here at Peoples Bank Park and the York Revolution, along with the Middle Atlantic Conference, putting together a great regional tournament thus far. One more game to go. I'd like to thank everyone for everything they've done. Thanks for listening, all the fans in attendance. It's been a great tournament. One more game to go. It'll be Wheaton or Shenandoah. Keep checking GoMaxSports.com for updates. And we're signing off for now.